Hi, yes, good morning, everyone. So I'm here at the gym, finishing up my workout. I did high intensity today, sprints, sprinting every 30 seconds and walking for 90 seconds, about 8 times. It works out to around 4 minutes, which will really get you really fit. You don't really need to do that long all-out cardio because all that does, it will burn calories, but once you stop doing that, the calories stop burning. Now, when you do high intensity, it's like working out because you're challenging the muscle fibers that promote strength. So anything that challenges it, which is called the anaerobic fibers, that will make you burn fat after the workout is over for the next 36 hours. So it's very beneficial to do. You know, cut your workouts down. You don't have to run for a whole hour or walk for like 1 hour. Just cut it down. Because when you challenge yourself, what happens there?
Hey. I had to cut it short. I had to cut it just a little short. It's okay. But welcome. Fruit up family. Fruit up with Bobby Smith YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can cast this from your TV, from your phone to your TV and get a little more comfortable, family. So y'all know how we give it up. This right here is a special one right here. You feel me? This is right here is a special one. I'm looking forward to this. Make sure everybody share the live. Please share the live. Share. We got the OG in the house tonight. Everybody got to take their hats off tonight. I even got to take mine off tonight. You feel me? And I'll never do that. So I'm taking the hat off to the OG tonight. This is somebody I look up to. The first person when I got online, every single thing I do with the fruit up came from this person right here. And I have to let y'all know that because when I enter this groups, it turned my life upside down. So I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna introduce the OG. Y'all gonna show the love. We gonna learn tonight, and I'm excited. Orville Douglas, what's up, family?
Hey, how's it going, man? Pretty good.
Laid back
Yeah.
as always, I see, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm glad to have you on. I appreciate you for joining. It's been a lot of talk in the community. Time to
Yes.
get some answers from the people who really been living it. And as I said in the intro, and I want to let you know this personally. When I joined your group last year, January, that was my first time joining the challenge, and the information that I received in that group was profound. It was so simple and profound that it changed the whole course of my reality. And I have to tell you that is much respect, family. And I look up to you, and I'm very, very glad to be having this conversation with you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
for
yeah.
those who don't know Orville Douglas, we gonna get a little background about him and let him tell his story a little bit. So if you want to start off there by giving a little information about yourself to the people who don't know you, you can start there.
Yeah, well, my name is Orville Douglas. Almost six, well, I'm gonna say 60 years old. I'm gonna be 60 in the next week or so. But I've been into the plant-based lifestyle for the past 26 years. I've been fruitarian for almost 12 years, and becoming a fruitarian was an accident because I didn't know nothing about fruitarian. It wasn't even something on a plan. I just didn't even know. Actually, after becoming a vegan, like a cooked vegan, then I saw a couple of Facebook groups, raw vegan. So I kind of like said, something, let me give it a try and stuff like that. Because I was always up for a challenge. So I did. I was in a couple of groups, and I did that for like 3 years, and then I loved it, but it's just like I making those things like dehydrating. I mean, salads and all that. That was fine, but that's kind of boring after a while. Dehydrating, making crackers, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It just took a lot of time. So what I ended up doing, one day I was just like eating fruits. I just started to eat fruits, and I just because it was quick. I was always on the go, so I'm just eating fruits, and then it just became a lifestyle. It just kind of like kicked in. It wasn't like I said, "Oh, I'm trying to become a fruitarian." I didn't really know what it was. I heard about it, I think over 30 years ago, I read Herod, his book, mucusless diet. And and that wasn't, it was just like, I saw it was like $2. The book was $2. I think it was back in the 90s, $2. I just was in a health food store and I saw it, $2, let me buy it. But I just read it and I didn't think anything of it after that. I just like read it. And then later on in life, then, this came about. So it just became, eating fruits was simple because all you have to do is just like eat the fruit, no preparation. And that's what I liked about it because of my busy lifestyle. And it just seemed to end up as a lifestyle, doing all that. And then I used to talk about it on Facebook and people couldn't really understand because I'll be working out and showing them, all this energy and they couldn't really understand how I could eat fruit. So what I did, someone, I cannot remember this lady's name, but she said, you should create a group. This was like 7 years ago. So I created a group and, people started to join this group, and they said, okay, we want to go along with you. And then, many people didn't do the 30 days, but they did days. But after that, it was just like people contact me saying, oh, my blood pressure is gone, blah, 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 this is gone. For me, I was just working out because I didn't have any health issues to reverse. I never did. It was all, for me at the beginning, it's all about being prevention. That's what it was. So once people who had issues, but they decided to do it, because I didn't tell them, say, oh, you got to reverse this or reverse that. That's what happened. And that's how it started. That's how the challenge started. In 2016. Dope. Yeah.
So you've been doing this for quite a while now, running these challenges.
Yeah. The past 7 years, since 2016.
Yeah, that's a long time. And so I remember I was watching you like on a podcast or something. And I remember you said you watched when you were younger, when really made you want to get into this lifestyle, you seen the older people around you getting sick.
Yeah. It's just like, you're a young kid, and then you see, your family members, parents, family members, you see them, and when you're a young kid, you see them all healthy. But when they became a certain age, you just seem like they seem to be getting some kind of disease or something like that. And I'm always thinking, I said, something, that's my future. I said, that's my future. So I decided at that point, to read up a lot of books about health and nutrition. I went to school for nutrition as well. And then that's when, they talk about different type of diets. And then that's when I decided to do the vegan diet, because it sounded, what I was learning in the school, it just sounded more healthy. It just made more sense to me.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because we talk about diseases and this and that, but the vegan diet made more sense to me. So that's when I started to do it. And then it was just like, I went to the raw vegan because I just saw something on Facebook. I just said, let me just kind of give it a try. Yeah.
Now, how long exactly did you do raw vegan before you switched over completely to fruitarianism?
3 years.
3 years? And currently, right now, you've been fruitarianism for how long?
Almost 12 years now. Coming to 12 year. Yeah.
And your exact age is what?
59. I'll be 60 I'll be 60 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time, I'll be 60. Celebrating the big 60, so yeah.
That's crazy. Share this live. Like, okay, you know why I asked you that question, Orville? Because now, like, when you look around the scope of the community, right?
Yes.
Or not just in the health community, but in the world, you see older people looking sick. Like, even in the comments right now, people like, he not 60. There's no way he's 60. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
What, like, when you compare yourself, why don't people get this? When you obviously show people, this is how I live, this is what I do, why you think people just don't grasp that?
I think a lot of time it's conditioning, and also it's conditioning. You raised a certain way, you're taught to eat a certain way, even though some people want to break that, but they find it very difficult. And I totally understand. But you have to be sick and tired to be sick and tired before you can actually, when that light bulb goes off, then that's when you're ready. It's always trying to be. I always tell people, it's always trying to be a healthier diet for you. Just make a few changes.
Yeah. And that's what I stress, the small steps. I tell people all the time, the baby steps in life are the most important steps of your life.
Absolutely.
Start with the baby steps. You know what I'm saying?
With the baby steps, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So I hear you say, I'm a fruitarian. This is a fruitarian life, fruitarian lifestyle.
Yes.
What is fruitarianism?
Well, fruitarian. Well, the definition of fruitarian is when they say a person has a diet 70% or more of eating fruits.
Mm.
So that's what the class of fruitarian. So some some people may like add nuts and seeds or greens or whatever. So that's it's like 70% when they do the classes of fruitarian, when it's like 70% of your diet is fruits.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so it's basically it's not 100% fruits. It's a fruit based diet.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
So you got people. So what about the idea? Do you think it's sustainable to live off 100% fruits?
Yes, because I basically do it. I mean, every now and then I'll go to a raw vegan restaurant, but for me, it's just like I've been doing it for years. It's just like no problems, I mean, I always have energy, I never get sick, it just keeps me vibrant. It keeps me going. So I say that because I've been doing it for so long. A lot of people think it's not sustainable, but what a lot of people don't understand is that people always think you have to add things to your diet. You have to keep on adding, but it's not really about adding. It's all about what you're removing. That's the
Yes,
bottom line.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So explain what 100% looks like for you. 100% fruits. Like, what are the fruits that you eat?
Well, I'm very simple. I'm very basic. So it depends. It depends what I'm having a crave for. It depends what I feel for. I mean, I can eat one fruit for months. I'm trying to say, and most of the time I do. Basically, I like grapes. Grapes is like one of my favorites.
Mm.
Mangoes too. But because I personally, I only eat once a day. That's all I eat once a day, and I have to tell people this that it's not intentional. It's unintentional. It's
Mm.
unintentional. It's not something I'm saying, oh, I gotta eat once a day. Let me look at the clock, 24 hours, and let me, it's not that. I
Right.
only eat when I'm hungry.
Mm.
That's the
Mm.
only time I would eat. And for those 24 hours or longer, I don't need anything. Yeah, you could eat something if you want to, but you don't have to. It's not like you don't get a feeling of escalation where hunger's coming out. It doesn't stay like that. Once I eat, and I know after I finish the grapes, and I know I could eat more if I want to, but I don't have to. I'm satiated, but it never escalates. It stays the same. Coming towards the end of the 24 hours or maybe a little longer, that's when you think, oh, well, I think I need to have something. And that's when I have to, that's when I eat something.
One time a day. How, like, okay, I say, like, you eat when, like, I tell my clients all the time, eat when you hungry, drink when you
Yeah,
thirsty. It's a
absolutely.
simple
It's
concept.
simple as that.
But what about the people who say, man, I'm hungry?
Yeah, I don't think they're not really hungry. Basically, what they are so used to eating a certain time, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So they're so used to it. So they got to think that they're hungry, but they're not
Mm.
really hungry. They just want to have food. That's all it is. You have to ask yourself your question: am I really hungry? Do I feel weak? Do I feel like I'm gonna pass out? If you don't feel like that, you're not really hungry.
Right, right.
It's just a habit that it's just a habit that's been developed. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner has been developed. That is something that we always do. So if you don't eat if you miss breakfast, if you normally eat breakfast and you miss breakfast doing something new, your body's got to let you know that you miss breakfast. You may be getting growls or something like that. Doesn't mean you're hungry. Your body's just changing over because your body's so used to getting something at that time of the day.
Mm. My suggestion be like, okay, say you got fruit in the refrigerator
Right.
and you say you hungry. If you bypass that fruit to go
Yeah.
get something else, you're not hungry.
You're not hungry. You're not hungry. Just eat as when you. I also people eat. If you have to eat 5, 6, 7 times a day of fruit, eat it. I'm
Mm.
trying to say, eat it. Don't starve yourself. If if but a lot of people think, I just eat once a day. I said because it's unintentional. That's all I need
Right,
at this
right.
point. Before I was eating a little bit more, but it came to a point where I just needed. It just seemed like it just came down to one meal.
Mm.
And if it came up to 2 meals a day later on, I would still do it because I'm listening to what my body's telling me. I'm
Mm.
not going against it.
Yeah, yeah. I did that when I joined your group last year. I did that for 2 weeks. I did the
Yeah, I remember. I
one,
remember.
yeah,
I
and I
remember. Yes,
reached
yeah,
out
yeah,
to you because I was
yeah,
losing so much weight,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, it was the best I ever felt in my life.
Right.
I had so much energy.
Yes.
Why do you eat only fruit?
I find that it makes me feel the best. It makes me. I like that light feeling. You just feel good. You just feel
Yeah.
good. I'm so energized. I mean, not to say other foods won't energize you. Don't get me wrong. Because I'm coming from the plant-based world. I know it will energize you, but there's nothing high for me. There's nothing higher than fruits when it comes to that vibrational, that feeling of lightness, that feeling of energy. I mean, I get up in the morning and I work out on an empty stomach because when I get up, I work out on an empty stomach. I'm running like 6-minute miles and stuff like that, doing like 9 miles. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's on an empty stomach. And this is like 4 o'clock in the morning. And the meal I had was like 12 noon the day before.
That's
So I tell people, yeah,
insane.
I tell people it's not about. It's more than food. People don't understand that it's more than food when it comes to energy. You get the energy from the sunlight. You get the energy from breathing in. It's more than energy. It's more than energy. But a lot of people think you have to eat all this to get this and get that. I'm trying to say no.
Uh,
When you are detoxed to a point, let me go back a little. Before I even became fruitarian, many years ago, I practiced water fasting for 15 years. 15 years straight. I did 4 times a year, 24 hours, 4 times a year, 21-day water fast. That's what I was doing. Then after that, I would do every 3 months, 3 days, and every week, once a week. I did that for 15 years straight. And I think that's what prepared me when and some people, because I don't, I eat fruits, people get detox symptoms. I don't get any of that. For me, when I'm eating fruits, it's just like anyone else who's when they're eating their regular meal and stuff like that. Because I think I've gone through all that cleansing all through the past years. That's what happens with me, and that's how and so to me, I have energy, and a lot of people cannot understand it.
they don't.
How comes this and blah blah blah? They say you got to do this and that. I said no, I'm not going to do anything. Nothing's going to happen. I'm like, I've been told that from the beginning that something's going to happen, and this is like almost 12 years on, and still nothing hasn't happened.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah,
Like, you know what? This is proof in the pudding
right,
that you don't need any other thing than fruits, right?
right.
So
Yeah, you
let's
don't need
talk
any.
about
Yeah, yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you drink water?
And no, I used to, but I eat my water. That's
Mm.
what I do. I eat my water because I'm hydrated. And the only time I would drink water, if I go to like a raw vegan restaurant or something like that, and they've used whatever they're making stuff like that, if it tastes real good, I get thirsty and
Yeah,
I have to drink
yeah,
immediately. But when
yeah.
I'm just eating fruits, no water is needed for me anyway. It's not needed. It's
That's
only if I eat something else. And I think it's probably the salts, the spices, whatever. It kind of dehydrates you. You know what I'm trying to say? My
mm,
mouth gets immediately thirsty.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
noticed that difference too from when I go long, long stretches of eating fruit. Soon as I
right.
eat something else, I'm reaching for some water.
You read for water. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just yeah. That's exactly what happens. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And so I know you familiar about the information Matt Fu and I was talking about the other night with the
Absolutely.
distilled
Yeah,
water versus
yeah.
spring water. So and I know in your groups, like when you tell people to drink water, you say, hey, drink distilled water.
Yes, yes.
Why so? Why distilled water and not spring water?
The reason why I say distilled water because distilled water is pure H2O. It's pure, and that's all the body needs. It doesn't need anything else. A lot of time when people talk about minerals and stuff, but water got this mineral, that mineral, but those your body cannot use those minerals. They are rock minerals. And I always tell people, you don't have to believe me, but you can do this for yourself. If you have spring water, get a distiller and put that spring water. It doesn't matter what brand is the most expensive brand. Put that put that spring water in the distiller and distill it. You'll be shocked what's left behind
Mm,
because you'll see all the calcifications of the rocks and stones in the bottom. You don't want that in your body. You
right,
know,
right.
if your minerals come from food, you know what I'm trying to say? Organic minerals. You don't need it. It's hard rocks. It's just like if you look at a shower head, a dripping faucet, it builds up calcification around the shower head. In industries where they need to use water, they use distilled water. In dialysis patients, they use distilled water. In in irons, they recommend distilled water. The reason why they use distilled water because they don't want any because other than that, it will break their machine. They need pure water. You know, pure water, and pure water is distilled water. Yeah, many people gotta say it's dead water, but it's not. It's not dead. What I mean, what distilled water will do, it will pull out inorganic minerals from out of the joints. I find that a lot of people, think they have arthritis or joint pain, but the moment they change their water and change their diet, within a week or so, the pain is reduced or it's gone. You know, so so you don't need, we as humans, we think we need minerals from everything because you got minerals in this, minerals in that, all different plants. We think we need it all, but we don't. Every species has their particular diet. You know what I'm trying to say? So we don't have to go and, we eat what I think that's what our diet is, fruits, as, that's what it is. The teeth we have, the intestines we have, we cannot break down all that stuff. And it causes pain and it causes inflammation, and that's been proven.
And you know what? That lead me to believe, like, okay, you don't need water. Obviously, you only drink it when you really want to, or when you kind of feel like you have to. And then, so you don't. So the only way, if you don't need water, then if we don't need this, I'm gonna start a theme here, Orville.
Right.
You only eat fruits, right?
Yes.
So I'm a firm believer in that. People only don't eat all fruits because they don't want to, first of all, and it's kind of hard to,
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And so why do people think they need herbs?
They just I think herbs, because it's been around for thousands of years, and people have always used herbs and stuff like that. They've always used it. So I think people think they need that. And what I found with herbs is that herbs is good of taking away a symptom. If you're sick and you have some kind of whatever, high blood pressure, whatever, it's good at taking away that symptom, but it didn't get to the root cause of the problem, because the moment you stop taking it, your symptom comes back. And that's what I found. That's what I found. So I think, it doesn't get to the root cause of the problem, but it's good. It's not bad. It's good. If people don't want to do fruit tearing lifestyle or whatever, and they herbs, if you want to be pain free, that's a good thing. So they'll keep spending their money and getting the herbs they need to keep them pain free. But in a sense, it's like a pharmaceutical drug without the side effect. Because you have to keep on going back and getting more and getting more and getting more. So, you're spending $1,000, which is fine, if it's helping you, of course. But if you really wanted to get to the root problem, you have to dig deeper to get to the root problem.
And so digging deeper to get to the root problem beyond a herb is either going to be fruits or fasting.
Yeah, both, because fruits, detoxification, whatever. Fruits is a lot easier for people because fruits digest very, very quickly, as we all know. It digests. So when it digests, your body goes back to detoxification. So if you're eating, even if you're eating 5 times a day throughout the day and you're eating fruits only, then your body, after 30 minutes or maybe a little longer or so, give or take, then your body's go back to detoxification. So you're running on empty. Water fasting, people eat, people water fast, they reverse diseases as well. Water fast is 0 calories. So you got to go, you're being detoxification longer, but it doesn't matter with numbers because fruits, it's only like 30 minutes or so. So if you want a taste in your mouth for something, you feel like you're eating something, then fruits is the way to go. Yeah, some people do water fasting and stuff like that, but it's all about cleaning.
Do you drink any juicing? Do you do any juicing?
I don't do any juicing. I do like juice, and I will drink some juice every now and then, but it's not part of my lifestyle where I'm juicing. I don't juice at all. Because I like the taste of it.
Do you recommend juicing?
I don't really recommend it. I recommend it as if you want a glass of juice or whatever, but I really don't recommend it. And the reason I don't recommend it is because it lacks the fiber. I would recommend more having a smoothie than having a juice because, you know, the fiber is removed, and within the fiber of fruits is what you call prebiotics.
Mm.
That's what, you know, that's what your microbiomes feed off, the gut flora. You know,
Mm.
they feed off those, you know, that's what makes them multiply, you know. And, you know, your microbiomes is like, you know, you got that gut brain connection. It's like your second brain. Um, so it's like if you just like juicing, then they're not really getting fed. Yeah, people will lose weight on juicing. Don't get me wrong. I know people, there is health benefit. Don't get me wrong, there is health benefit. I know the juice goes into cells quickly and all that. I know all of that already because I know
Right.
what people
Right.
got to say. That's what got to tell me. I already know that. But, you know, I'm saying it before they say it, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But
Right.
the fiber is important
Mm-hmm.
because the fiber will make those bacteria multiply. So the more you have, the healthier you get. Those bacteria is like makes about like 80% of your immune system
Mm.
at least. So if you're not giving them that, it's got, you know, they got to starve. Now, when people are eating all this other stuff, you know, it depends. Your microbiomes feed off whatever you're eating. So if
Right.
a person having an acidic diet, they got to feed those bad bacteria, and those
Mm.
bad bacteria are got to outnumber the good bacteria, and that's where sickness comes in. That's where overgrowth of yeast and all that kind of stuff. That's what happens. You know, but people, you know, I tell people the longer you eat fruits and stuff like that, the more easy it gets because once your microbiomes start getting used to eating that, it's that gut and brain connection. It's a second brain, you know. So, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
dope. And that's what I strive for. Is I find it, I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult to maintain eating just fruit, especially
yeah,
when you
absolutely.
love juicing and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely. I'm not. Yeah, I absolutely. I totally understand. You know what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
But as I said, there's nothing. As I said, there's nothing wrong with juicing. But I think as long as I think when people go on those prolonged juice fasts, that's the part I don't agree with. That's the part
Mm,
just always juicing, and then you know they're losing the weight, and then as soon as they start eating, they gain back the weight, and they're going back on another juicing.
yeah.
You know what I'm trying. That's the part I don't agree with. You know, as I said, I like juice. I like orange juice. You know, I like fresh pressed orange juice. You know, and I
Mm,
will drink juice. You know what I'm trying
yeah.
to say. But that's it. I'm not gonna go. You know, I'm not gonna go and just have juice the whole day, and that's it.
Right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah,
yeah,
you extended juice fast. I noticed when I
right.
do an extended juice fast, when you get off of it, you crave those foods that you was eating before it.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
I've heard
Like you
that.
said, you're
Yes. Yeah.
not feeding
Yeah.
the gut. So like,
You're not feeding. Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
let's get to this. The sea moss. You know, I
Right.
told him we was gonna talk about sea moss.
Right. Right.
What is the big deal with sea moss?
Well, my opinion, and a lot of people ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna say it anyway, is that sea moss belongs in the sea. We're not sea creatures. We're not sea
Mm,
creatures. Yes, sea moss may have 92 minerals. You may have 92 minerals, but why do we need those 92 minerals? Those minerals are not for us. Those minerals are for the ones in the sea, the fish in the sea. That's what they eat. Now, you have to ask yourself a question. If you saw some sea moss washed up on the rocks, would you actually go up and place it and eat it? No, you wouldn't. Before
fact.
you eat it, it has to be dried and you have to do this and have to do that and you have to do that. If you cannot eat something raw, it's not food. It is
Mm,
not food. If you cannot just pick it and eat it, you know, when it comes to fruit, if you're in an orchard and you can smell the fruits, you gotta salivate over the smell of fruit. Even if you're not a fruitarian, it doesn't have to be fruit. You just gotta, you know, the smell of fruits. It's like it offers itself to you. You know,
mm-hmm.
that's what it's about. But I say stuff like sea moss. Yes, it has 92 minerals. But what people tend to what they don't really understand is that you don't need extra minerals. You need extra cleaning. You know,
Mm,
that's what the body needs, extra cleaning, because you already have the minerals in your body. You already have that. You know, you know from when you're born, those minerals, breast milk, they were built up in your system, like calcium, for instance. Calcium, it comes to I think it's like around age 30 when you cannot build any more calcium. Around 30 years old, you already have those minerals. It's not about trying to maximize any minerals. It's all about minimizing mineral loss. That's all it's all about. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're eating
mm,
alkaline foods is got to keep those minerals intact, you
definitely.
know. But the moment you start eating all these acidic foods, then that is where you gotta lose, you gotta lose minerals out of your body. Calcium is a very strong buffer. So calcium is released to buffer the acidity, to bring it back to the blood and tissue to back to almost neutral, about like 7.35, slightly alkaline, not all alkaline, slightly alkaline. That's what it does. It brings the homeostasis back into the body. That's what it is. So this is why people getting sick, because they've eaten a bad diet for all their life, and they have these natural antioxidants within their body, to fight off diseases. That's, because if we didn't, we would be dead. But when you come to a certain age, those natural antioxidants start to die off. The boxing gloves are off. I'm trying to say, you're fighting for your life. High blood pressure, diabetes, cancer. This didn't happen overnight. This has been happening in the last 15, 20 years.
So it sounds like to me like sea moss is being supplemented to not do what you're supposed to do.
Right. Yeah. It's just that's what it seems like. I mean, as I say, a lot of people say they got health benefits. I'm not taking anything away from them. If they got fine, they got health benefits. But if people want to take it, I'm not saying people don't take it, but I'm just giving my perspective on it. Is that every animal in the animal kingdom has a nutrition what they need to eat. I'm trying to say, if it's in the sea, we don't have gills. We don't belong in the sea to eat it. That's their food.
Yeah.
We are land creatures. I'm saying? We are land creatures.
Yes.
What I mean? Everything you need as in fruit. People talk about, where you get calcium, iron. It's not about, you don't have to eat something with iron to get iron, or eat something with calcium to get calcium. No, your body already has the calcium. As I said again, you have to. It's not about maximizing minerals. It's about minimizing the loss. And once the person understands that, then they're good to go.
Yeah. That makes so much sense, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take care of yourself long term.
Long term. You got to. I mean, I've always said, I have a granddaughter. She's 21. I have a grandson who's 4 years old. They're coming to see me next week. So I'm not gonna be one of those grandpas who is be sitting in a rocking chair and cannot do anything with them, cannot run. I cannot do anything with them. No, I've always said that. You have to think about your family. Your family. Because if you are gone, if you ain't able to do anything, who's got to take care of them?
Facts.
You got to think of it. People don't think about that. They just think about, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. But they know it's best for them, but they just cannot do it. But always, you have to find out your reason why you want to do this.
That's a
and I'm saying all this. It doesn't have to be. I'm not talking about you don't have to become a fruitarian. I'm not advising. I'm just talking about changing your whole diet, because there's different steps to health. If you're eating a meat diet, you can cut back on processed food, blah, blah, blah. If you eat a vegan diet, cut back on processed food. It's all about promoting health, and there's different levels to health.
Yes. Yeah. It's just the fruitarianism has seemed to be at the top now.
At the top, yeah, absolutely.
Everybody wants to be fruitarian now.
Yeah, because I've done it. I've done the meat diet. I've done the cooked diet. I've done them all. I'm trying to say. So I just talk from my experience. I've done them all. Yeah,
good experiences indeed. So, what's your opinion on the seeds, nuts? Like, first, seedless and seedless fruits. Do you eat seedless fruits at all?
Most of the time I eat seeded, but but seedless fruit ain't not gonna do any harm. There's so much internet rumors. Oh yes, we all know that seeded fruit is better. Right. But if you cannot, a lot of people cannot get it within the area. Seedless fruit is not going to make you sick. It's not going to make you sick. I have plenty of people in my group who always used to send me messages. They were concerned they cannot find seeded fruit because and they they're really concerned that about seedless fruit because what they've heard. And I said, something, all you can do is the best you can do. It's better than getting a burger or something like that. And what I found, even the people in my group still reverse their diseases on seedless fruits. It didn't matter. I go by observation, not by internet opinions. You know what I'm trying to say? Because there are a lot of opinions around, but you have to see what really works. So I go by what I see what's happening with other people.
Mm.
Other people, they're still reversing the diseases on seedless in the group I said, seeded is always the best. New York, I can get seeded everywhere. So that's not a
Mm.
problem for me. There was at one point when I did the grapes for 96 days, and I heard all these people saying about, I was doing seeded grapes and saying blah 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 seedless. So what I did for the last, I think it was for the last 30 days, I ate seedless grapes just to
Yeah.
prove a point.
Yeah. I
Just to
remember
prove a
that.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to prove a point.
And
That
you
is
know
not gonna
what?
kill me.
Most people who talk about seeded and seedless fruits don't even grow fruit for the seeds. So
Right.
the actual seed of the fruit, is it supposed to be eaten?
No, it really isn't. I mean, you can, if you eat it, what's gonna happen? People say, "Oh, the seed has all this and that." Your body cannot digest the seeds. You shit it right out. That's
Mm.
exactly what's gonna happen. It cannot digest the seeds. People don't understand that. The minerals, the nutrients in a seed is for the earth for reproduction,
Yes.
to grow another. That's all it's for. So yeah, if you eat it and swallow it, it's not gonna kill you, but you gotta shit it right out. That's what's gonna happen. That's
Yeah.
exactly what's gonna happen. You're not saying you're not going to get any benefits from it. None whatsoever.
None,
Bec-
no benefits whatsoever from
no
eating fruit.
whatsoever, because the seed, if something cannot be digested, that means it hasn't been assimilated.
Yeah.
It's just going in and it's coming right out. That's all
Mm.
that you can chew it up as much as you want and grind it up or whatever. It's still coming out. You may not
Fact.
see it, but it's coming out. But if you eat a whole seed and stuff like that, you'll see if you didn't chew it properly and stuff. You will be able to see it in your stool. You'll be able to see it.
So
You
is that
know.
the same thing with like nuts and stuff? Because I heard you say in your group,
Yeah.
and nuts are for squirrels.
Yeah, nuts are for school. Nuts is very high in protein. It's very high in fat. I'm trying to say it's not
Mm.
for us. Nuts are not for us. Yeah, people eat it. Many people are allergic to it, but it's nuts. They're also acidic.
Mm.
They're not for us.
And the
They're
nuts
not.
in the United States is just, like they're not in their purest form at all.
Right, no, no, not at all, not
Yeah.
at all. But it's not gonna kill you. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna tell everybody it's not gonna kill you if you eat nuts. I'm not saying that, but I'm just
Right.
saying in general that it's not really for us. It really isn't.
Right.
If that's if nuts is part of your diet and stuff like that, you get part of your healthy diet. Keep on doing it. But just
Mm.
giving you the opinion of,
Do you ever eat any cooked food?
no,
No.
no,
When the
no, no.
last time you had some cooked food?
It's been a couple of years.
Mm.
Been a couple of
Mm.
years. Yeah. No, no. Tell a lie. I had some not too long because one time I went to my restaurant in DC, Elizabeth Gone Raw. They're very
Mm.
light. Their food is very light and stuff like that. One time, so I usually have to let them know that like a raw plate or something like that. Because they'll make you before it used to be all raw, but it's not anymore. It's kind of a mixture of cooked, but it's very light. I remember one time the chef wasn't in town and stuff like that. So they said, well, we cannot do it because blah blah blah. I still went and ate. I still ate it, and something, it didn't even affect me at all. I'd rather eat that than eating something raw foods with like what's made of a lot of nuts and seeds, because it feels so heavy within
Mm.
my system. It feels so heavy, you know.
Mm. But
Yes.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating cooked food. I've heard
No.
you say
No. 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 No.
that.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Right,
No.
right.
Yeah.
And I've even heard you say like when you cook food, it doesn't necessarily loses alkalinity.
Right. No. Yeah. It doesn't lose it. It doesn't lose its alkalinity. But what it does lose, it loses its light. It loses its light energy. That's all it loses. But not the
Mm.
alkalinity. It doesn't go. It doesn't. It doesn't make it acidic. Yeah.
Mm.
It doesn't make
So
it acidic.
and so you said, and I heard you say nuts are full of fats,
Yeah.
right?
Just for the fat. Yeah.
What about oils?
Yeah. Oils.
Oils.
Yeah. Yeah. Oils is pressed. It's 100% fat. It has no fiber. It's 100% fat. It's processed. And I tell people this: oils are not healthy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what oil it is. Coconut oil, olive oil. It doesn't matter. Oil is oil. If you are better off to eat the whole food, whatever, even if it's not. You're better off eating that because whatever's in the nuts or whatever is in the avocado, whatever is in it, you're eating the whole food. Now, when you start processing things down, you're isolating nutrients. So you're pulling away the oil. So all you're left with is 100% pure fat. You know, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. You know, if it's not whole, if it's not in the whole food, then it's no good. It's just like, for instance, sugarcane. Sugarcane, people eat sugarcane. Once they start taking away the molasses and they strip it down to the pure white poison stuff, which you call sugar, then look what it does. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you processed it. You processed it, you know?
Indeed.
It's all about trying to eat whole foods. I know sometimes, you know, people want to use oil for cooking or something like that, but olive oil, coconut oil, it's not a health food. It is not a health food at all. But people think it is because it's from olives. But, you know, you've just extracted it, isolated the chemistry. The body doesn't recognize anything that is isolated. It doesn't.
So oils are essentially bad for the body.
Oils are bad for the bad, but fat, you need fat in your diet.
Right.
Different people, there's a difference between oil and fat, you know?
What is the difference? What is the clear difference between the fat? Like, because people say, okay, my body needs fat. You can eat an avocado,
right.
But an avocado oil is bad.
Yeah, because what they've done, they've extracted the oil.
Yeah.
That's all. All the other properties that are in the avocado, they're all missing. You just left with the fat. You may say it's got monounsaturated fat in avocado, polyunsaturated fat. But it doesn't matter what that is. There's no fiber. Fiber is the broom of the body. People don't understand that. Fiber is what it sweeps all the poison out of your body. That's what it does. You know, it neutralizes those harmful estrogens in your body. That's what it does. Those sexual hormones, it neutralizes all those. That's what it does. Fiber. Fiber is so important. You know, but people are not getting fiber and they're all constipated and, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important. So as I say, if you're extracting and taking stuff away from, you know, it's not a whole food anymore.
So, like oil, when we talk about oil right now in the community, you hear a lot about oil pulling for the teeth.
Yeah, I've heard about that. You know, yeah, people do that. I mean, they say, you know, people say it's work for them. Fine, but they're not swallowing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not digesting it.
They're not digesting it. They're just like screwing them out and spinning out. They're not digesting it. So that's fine, you know. But when you kind of, you know, putting all that oil in your body, it's not good. You know, people say, "Oh, let me fry in olive oil." Or all oils have a healing limit. You know, right. I know they have like cold pressed oils, you know, like olive oil. They have cold pressed oils and stuff like that. But you know, if you know, they become very rancid, and if they are exposed to heat, light, or oxygen, you know, so that's why they put olive oils. Those cold pressed, they're always in a dark bottle. They put them in the real expensive ones in a dark bottle, because that's what happens if it's exposed to heat, light, and oxygen. It will make it very rancid very quickly.
Because yeah, that's right. Because I heard somebody say that only happens if it's exposed to heat.
Yeah.
That's light too.
Yeah, heat, light. That's why they tell them to keep it in the cupboards or something like that. And that's why it's in a dark bottle. That's why they put in the dark bottle. Now you see those olive oils the cheap ones in the grocery store, and they're in a clear bottle.
Yeah,
you know, so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, it makes so much sense. So what, like, okay, say people, we got a lot of people sick out here, a lot of people coming from the sad diet, but it's also a lot of people, a lot of noise in the community about how to get healthy, this way to get healthy. What's your number one recommendation for getting out of the misery and sticking your feet into this lifestyle?
It's all about detoxification. You know, it's all about, that's the only way you're going to get healthy. You can eat a better diet, but you cannot eat your way to health per se. You have to, you know, it's all about removing.
Right.
You know, so if you're just, you're constantly eating and eating, yeah, you change your diet, yeah, you had a vegan diet, or you've gone from cooked and you feel great, you feel wonderful. But the moment you decide to do a detoxification, you got to really see how healthy you are, because that's when the symptoms are gonna come.
Mm.
And that's when people think, oh, it made me sick, I'm gonna give it up, it made me sick, and blah blah blah. I said, no, your toxins in your body made you sick, because what fruits do, it exposes weaknesses.
Mm.
That's what it
Mm.
does. It exposes weaknesses in the body.
So you can go from to properly detox, right? Can you go from just eating sad to eating all fruits and keep going?
Yeah, I always recommend that in my group for 30 days. You know what I mean? And do the challenge. And not a lot of people not really, I got all people different, from meat diet, from vegan diet to raw vegan diet. But at the end, near to the end of the challenge, I give them an option of, basically, now you have to modify your diet. So if you're eating meat, I would recommend you to go to a plant-based diet. If you find that too extreme, then I would recommend really cut back on the meat. Keep away from processed food. If it's a person who's cooked vegan, I said, well, try a raw. If you satisfy vegan diet, that's fine. But try adding some raw options to your diet, and also raw vegan. I tell them, fruitarian, have more fruits in your diet. So
Mm.
you have to find a way that's going to make it sustainable for you. So it's something you
Mm.
can do for life. So I always tell people, when you do that, come back every other month. If you don't come back to my group, or you can do it by yourself, because you know exactly what you got to expect. Have a detox every month, because it's a journey. It's a
Yes.
journey. So so the less you retox, because after that month is over, then you got to modify your diet, have more alkaline foods in your diet, whatever your diet is.
Mm.
And then I'd say the following month, then do another detox. That's the reason why I have a detox every other month. I don't have it every month,
Mm.
because they say,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
I let you go back to your lifestyle to see how you're
Yeah.
gonna cope with that."
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
What do you think about people who try to do like parasite cleanses and enemas, and what's your recommendations on those?
yeah. I don't even recommend any of those, because parasites. It's funny. I talked about this in the group yesterday. I did a video, but I talked about parasites. People talking about, oh, parasites, they control what you eat, and blah blah blah. That's what they say. I said, no, parasites do exist. Don't get me wrong. I know they exist, but they do not control what you eat. If you're doing a detox, and if you have any of those parasites within your system, they got to come out in the first couple of days. They got to
Mm.
come out. So people use that and said, oh, it's controlling. I said, no, it's not. I said, the reason why you are eating what you want to eat, and you think it's controlling what you eat, it's your microbiomes. It's what you've been feeding it. You know what I'm trying to
Mm.
say? As I said, you got the good
Mm.
bacteria, the bad bacteria. If you're feeding that bad bacteria, your body's always got to run and crave that. And that's why I said earlier on in the conversation, the more fruits you have in your diet, the more the good bacteria will multiply. And that's what your body's got to start to crave.
Mm. How
Regardless,
long do you think it would take for somebody to like start craving more of fruits?
a couple of weeks,
Couple of weeks on fruits.
yeah, a couple of weeks.
Mm.
Couple of weeks. Yeah, a lot of people when they, I'm sure, like in your group as well, people, they do your group, and they, after, when they go back to their diet, and they missed what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because
Mm-hmm.
they realize how they can really feel. A lot of people don't realize how good they can really feel, because they've never felt good. They've always felt a
Yes.
certain way, and they think that's how you're supposed to feel, and you're not supposed to feel like that. I always tell people, of people of my age, or even a little younger, you're not supposed to be broken down. You're not supposed to be. You don't have to. We've been told that after a certain age, you got to get this, you got to be that. No, it's not like that. It's not like
Mm.
that, because we keep seeing it all the time. And like, I was smart enough to see it as a young person growing up, and I thought about it. That would probably got to be me,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
Yeah, and you
Mm.
and you know and you know where you're coming from, your lifestyle, from all that weight you lost, and so you already know. So I don't have to tell you, but you already know.
Right.
People telling your story,
Yeah.
so you already know. You decided you wanted to live.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
I think it's that's why I say this is such one of them personal journeys that
Yeah, yeah.
All the questions people have, all the what should I do? What should I? All of that don't matter if you don't start doing it.
Right, right.
You know,
Absolutely.
like you can act till you blue in the face. Like, so let's get to like working out. How
Yes.
important is working out in your life?
Working out is very important because you're moving your body, you're moving your muscles, you keep your, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. That's a true saying. People may not think it's important now, but when a person gets to a certain age, maybe like 70 or 80 years old, and for instance, have you ever seen an old person try to open a jar of pickle and they're really
Mm-hmm.
straining? They didn't use it. It's all about working out. It's all about building bone density. It's all about, you start when you're young, but it's never too late. When you're getting older, you should add it more to your diet because it's got to keep you well. It's got to keep you strong. That's what it's about. You
Mm,
know, you
mm.
know, cardio. For your heart health. Your muscle health. It's not about building big muscle. It's not working out. It's not about building big muscle or anything like that because everyone genetically has a genetic muscle size. It's not about that. Some people can just look at the weight and then their muscles grow. You know what I'm trying to say? Some people
Right,
kind of
right.
like, we're working out, they don't really grow anything. It's not about that. But it's doing a lot of things internally for the good of your body. That's what it's about.
Mm. And then doing the repeated patterns, getting up, doing it every day.
Getting
Do
up and doing it. Yeah.
Can you describe for the people and people, please, please, if you have any questions, like we're not gonna go too much longer, Orville, but
Right.
at the
Right.
at the end, I'm gonna let couple people post a couple questions to ask you.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. But about repeated patterns, can you describe like a day in the life of Orville Douglas?
Okay. So wake up. I usually go to bed early, like usually about 10, 11 o'clock. I usually wake around 4 o'clock. And I'll go to the gym. Recently, I've been working out at home. I just said, I have all these equipment. Instead of going to the gym, why I just work out at home? Because I'm so used to the gym atmosphere. But now I'm starting to get used to the equipment I have here because I got this all through COVID. So yeah, I go to the gym, work out for a couple of hours, maybe 2 hours and stuff. And then after that, going to work. Then for the whole day, maybe about midday, I may eat something. If I may eat some grapes or whatever, whatever fruit I'm eating, and then come home. I get home late, usually get home late, and then back to it again, back to early bed in the morning, and get up early in the morning. It's just a repeat. It's very the same thing. Very simple.
Mm. Very,
Very
very
simple.
simple.
Yeah, and I keep
Like,
active. I do a lot of walking throughout the whole day as well. A lot of walking as well. Even working out, walking. Usually, sometimes when I look at my Apple Watch or something like, by the end of the day, I probably did like about 15, 20 miles within, after working out, but within the walking I'm doing every single day as well.
mm, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Like a lot of people do not grab the concept of this. And it's like,
Right.
that's why I respect you so much because of the example. When you can
Right.
see it being done every single day. And I said, we have in life in general, we have a difficult time doing simple things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything's complicated.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
complicate everything. I think that's why your information get poked at so much because it's so
Right.
simple.
It's so simple. So simple. So simple.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. So
It's very simple.
let's get a couple questions on here real quick. I'm gonna pop them up on the screen for you.
Okay.
Let's see. Is this fruit detox good for those who have high pressure? I'm guessing blood
High
pressure.
blood pressure. It's good for everything. All disease, I tell people, all diseases, they're all exactly the same. Cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever name your doctor gave you disease, it's all about toxicity. That's what it's about. Now, detoxification is all about cleaning. It's about cleaning the whole pipework. You clean
That.
everything out, that's when the body can come back to balance.
Mm, mm. That's there it is. There it is. So
Yeah.
let me see who else. Let me get a couple more questions on here. Uh, let me see. Let's talk about this statement from the Family Pause Law. Herbs are needed for healing and parasite cleanses are needed for a lot of cases.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so no, as I said again, when it comes to detox, when your body becomes alkaline, if you have any critters living in your body, they cannot survive. They cannot survive. And detoxification The fruit is alkaline. It creates that. You know what I mean? It digests. It creates that. It creates to shift it out. You know, as I
Right.
was saying earlier, if you have any parasites within your body, not everybody has them. People think everyone has them. I said, no, not everybody has them. If you haven't passed them in a couple of days, you don't have them. You know, if you're doing all fruits, it will come out. I've seen people in the group who had parasites, and I've, you know, posted on Facebook. You've actually seen it and it comes out. You know,
Yeah.
but don't worry about it. If you're doing the right thing, everything will happen in its own time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Shouts out to the family Paul's Law too. Shouts out Paul's Law. Tanya Fleming says, "What does 70% look like? Can I eat 1 meal a
1
day?"
meal. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you feel that you can eat 1 meal a day, sure. You know, I always tell people, do not force anything. So a lot of people tend to force, you know, because they really need more than 1 meal a day, but they're forcing it. I don't believe in that. If you need to eat 2, 3, 4 times a day, eat. But when your body comes to a point where when it's telling you don't need as much, then that's what you do. That's what you do. You don't have to force it. Everything's supposed to be unintentional.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's I tell people, when you hungry, when the foods digest so fast, you can eat them anytime.
Anytime.
Just eat.
Yeah.
When you
You just
hungry, eat.
eat.
You know.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Eat as much as you want. You know, that's all it is, man.
Do we need vegetables at all?
No, we don't. We don't need them at all because number one, I'll tell you why. Because the vegetables, they don't have seeds, number one, so they cannot reproduce. That's number one. So that will tell you something. You pull it up, you pull the root out. That's number one. Number two, vegetables has cellulose in there. The human body cannot break down the cellulose. The only way you can break that cellulose down is through juicing it or cooking it. But eating it's not going to break it down at all.
So what happens when you eat raw vegetables then? Like
a lot of time people take a dump and it's like green. It didn't get digested. It didn't get digested. So the stool is green. You know, it didn't get digested.
That makes sense.
You know, when you eat cooked vegetables, it's not going to be green. But when you eat raw vegetables, the stool comes out green.
Wow. So you just basically eating them for nothing.
You're eating them for nothing. You're eating them for nothing, you know. Yeah. Well, you know, but people cook them and they like them, you know, so they add whatever, you know, they add whatever seasoning to them, stuff like that. But you think about it, you have a baby. A baby is the most person that's not corrupted. If you have a baby and you put them, you know, you put some vegetable in front of them or some fruit, you're forcing the baby that the baby's gonna have a hissy fit. He do not want that vegetable. He doesn't want it.
Right.
He does not want you know, because babies are close to their natural habitat. They were born, this is their natural senses. But the parent corrupt them, so you have to, grandma, you have to eat grandma's vegetables, good for you, have to eat them. So you have a hissy fit. It's all about being natural. It's all about simple. Any animals in nature that are born, they know exactly what to eat, you know, because it's already built in. Babies are built in with that too. But they go for the fruit, we give them something else.
Beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take one more question for the OG.
Right.
One more question.
Right.
Let's see here. He just said no to vegetable because, you know, people gonna say, what about spinach? What about this? What about kale? Yeah. That goes for all vegetables.
Yeah, that goes for all. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have, if you want it, you can't. It goes for all. You know, I mean, yeah, you can cook it. It'll break it down. But if you're trying to eat it raw, you know, and all animals in all species eat a raw diet except humans. We're the only ones that don't. Other than our family pets eat, you know, like the cooked stuff and what we give them, and they end up with human diseases. Glaucoma, cataract, cancer, high blood pressure. Your dog has a high blood pressure. He has diabetes. You know? Yeah, but that's kind of like, yeah. Just to sum it up, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about quality of life.
Quality.
You know what I'm saying? And you seem to be living at the high level. Yeah. You seem to be content with your lifestyle. You be the example. When you live by example, it's hard to argue with it.
Right.
You know, so that's why I tell people all the time, Orville, when you aspire to be a fruitarian, which you don't really have to be because you can just start eating fruits.
Right.
You look at someone like Orville in the community and say, it can be done.
Right.
It can be done. Just eat fruit. I like that.
That's what. That's simple. Yeah.
Well, questions is over.
Right.
OG, I appreciate you for coming on, kicking the knowledge, man. You're going to have a lot of questions from what you said in here.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, you're real good at going and let people know the information.
Right.
The floor is yours, man. Anything you want to tell the people before you get out of here about your group, websites, anything you got going on?
Yeah, so I have a group every other month. The next one is March. Right now, the January is going on. And my website, for information, you can go to my website. My website is my name, Orvel Douglas, ORVELDOUGLAS.com. Or you can visit my Facebook page, Orvel Douglas Fruitarian Lifestyle, or my regular page, which is Orvel Douglas. And you can contact me there by messenger. Contact me. I'll answer all questions. And, if you have any, just contact me. Yeah. I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, so you can definitely go to the website, OrvilleDouglas.com, schedule a consultation, get some information, join the group. The next group is in March, right?
1st. Yeah, March 1st. So registration is open right now. So, they can contact me. All the information on there, but if they have any problems, just contact me and I'll guide them.
And I'm going to tell y'all like this. Join, and I run groups myself, and I tell you, I was inspired by Orville groups, and the information you receive in these groups are priceless.
Yes.
Priceless. This was just a tidbit of it. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit.
They come at you and they come at you and they come at you, and every day you change your perspective. Like, okay, now I get it. So,
yes.
Hey, thank you for being the example, family.
Thank you, man, for having me. And I really appreciate you asking me to come on the show. I really do. And all those other people came and I've been watching and, just amazing people. We're all in it together. We have that different ideologies, but we all trying to get to the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. We all family. We all strive to be healthy and
absolutely
look at the example. So hey, I'm gonna send my uncles your way, man. Like a lot of people start needing to get healthy. Well, yes, man. So I appreciate you, OG. Once again, we'll be back to do it later on and give some people some more information, man.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right.
You have a wonderful evening, man. And
you too.
Keep
Thanks
doing
so much. Thank you.
Indeed. The OG. What a great man. Listen, the information we receive here tonight. Go back and watch this over. Go back and watch it over. Digest it. A lot of information to go over there. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Everybody questions, statements, answers. I appreciate y'all participation. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Fruit Up channel, Fruit Up with Bobby Smith YouTube channel. February 1st, fruits and herbs. It's going down. We're going to show y'all what we learned from the OG in there. And it's time, man. It's time to get healthy. It's time to do everything right. Show the family some love with the Cash App, Fruit Up 13. Donate to the Cash App if y'all want to keep the movement strong, keep the movement going, family. That's what we're doing. But the best time in the world to be alive. So I appreciate everybody for joining. We got Tuesday night, Divine Being Divine will be here at 8 p.m. Y'all do not want to miss this. When you're talking about astrotheology, we're talking about the solar system and who we really are. So let's continue the movement. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to love and support. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Let me get this to y'all. This is a fruit. These are herbs. February 1st, right? Me and my brother Cosmo Sage, we coming together. It's going to be a private group on Facebook. It's $20 to join. Y'all know how we get down. Ask about the Fruit Up challenges and how they go down. People losing weight. People starting to change their lives. People stop drinking. It's a lot of things going on inside these challenges. Together, though, with the fruits and the fucking herbs, it's going down, family. Get in there now. The link will be in these comments. Join now, February 1st. Get your herbs ready. Get your fruits ready. Get ready for the information, family. Shouts out to my brother Cosmo Sage, man. We ready to turn up. We ready to inform. And we ready to heal. Love, family. Fruit the fuck up.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Much love, family. Fruit the fuck up. AGameHerbal.com. AGameHerbal.com if you want to get this energy popping. And like I'm telling you fellas, to my fellas out there, this is no bullshit. These don't, look. These don't make you horny or none of that bullshit, right? These don't make you horny. They make you ready. You hear me? You hear me? They make you ready at all times. You ready to go. You ready to go. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You be ready to go. Baby, where you at? Baby, where you at? Here I am. Fruit the fuck up, family. I love y'all.
I'm 26 years old. So there's 26 of years in my story that I've recorded with my eyes. So this is in the Akashic records. Everything's being recorded in my mind. My life is in like a file. That's why life spells file. L-I-F-E is your whole life is in a file. F-I-L-E. So your life is in a file. There's many files with many lives, but it's just one giant Akashic records. It's the universal record. It's all the existences that happened in one existence. So it basically just says that we are all important pieces to the puzzle. You can't make a puzzle without every single piece. You are important. You are a piece to that puzzle. Your eyes is recording your life, which is a file in the infinite number of life files. Simple.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let